Let's suppose you start a new job and you're working there for a few months. Everything seems to be going okay, but then suddenly you start getting these red flags that are popping up. Maybe the expectations are not realistic, or perhaps your boss is getting a little too in the weeds for your liking and they're starting to interfere with your work. Maybe you realize that this type of work isn't even enjoyable to you anymore, and having the new employer validate it for you is all you need to know. So when is it too soon to quit a job that you just started? There's no rule that says that you need to stay anywhere for any given period of time. In fact, if you're in a bad situation, I suggest there shouldn't be anything keeping you there longer than it's necessary to find another job. Because you don't own an employer or anything, and if they misrepresent the job to you out of the gate, that's really on them and not you. And in fact, if you stay with a bad employer, it's going to affect your mental health, which will affect your career. Alternatively, the longer you stay in a career path that doesn't resonate with you, the more pigeonholed or more branded you are for that type of work you're going to be. So absolutely make the move, but just make smart ones. Because you want to be careful not to have a series of short-term stints where it doesn't look like you know what you're doing, because it's going to be harder to convince the new employer that you're truly engaged in their role. And if you need more help with the next step in your career and you're not sure what to do, check out my bio. I've got all kinds of helpful links and I'm here to help.
When the most productive person in the company put in his resignation, no one knew why until someone asked him a question he should have been asked years before. See, week after week, Bob outperformed everyone else, and week after week, his managers celebrated him and gave him awards, not knowing that each time they did it, it was driving him further away. And when they would ask him why he was leaving, he would respond by saying, "You should already know," which led his boss to ask a question he should have asked long before. Because when his boss finally asked, "How did you outperform everybody week after week?" Bob's answer changed everything. He said he had been working 90 hours a week, believing they were understaffed and under-resourced, hoping that there would be a light at the end of the tunnel. And when he said that, his boss realized that he hadn't given the resources and the staffing because he didn't think he needed it. Because when you celebrate outcomes without validating the actual effort that went into the outcome, you have no idea if your reinforcement is making people stay or helping them leave.
When a boss doesn't have the guts to fire you because they know their reason is illegal, they might use this trick instead. They'll want to get you to resign so that you can't say you were wrongfully fired and they won't have to pay unemployment. The best way some managers can figure out how to do this is to make your life so miserable at work that you quit. The most common way they do this is by adding lots of responsibilities and impossible expectations to your workload. The trick to managing this situation is to gain control of the paper trail early. Send an email like this to your supervisor or HR. Point out that the responsibilities are new and that they're impossible. If these new responsibilities followed a request for accommodation or a protected complaint, draw attention to that as well. This is a high-risk situation, and nothing can stop your employer from breaking the law. But with evidence like this, you'll have a much better case.
Everybody, Derek, Jake, everyone, I got an announcement to make, and I got my friends here to help me out. Guys, hit it.
Shoot-ba-doo-doo-doo, shoot-ba-doo-doo-doo. I am quitting this job today. I'm leaving. I am moving on.